It's preparing at the moment.
Yeah, I can see that it's showing that it's now streaming. So
Ah, okay. Just waiting for it. We're live. Amazing.
fabulous.
Hello, everyone. So I have, is that, are you getting a sound
All good.
feedback? Okay, all good. Amazing. So I have the wonderful Eleonora with me.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm getting weird sound feedback and I don't know why.
Um,
Ah, I think it's all good now.
okay.
Fantastic. Sorry, I think I just needed to pause it so that I wasn't hearing it in the background. But anyway, we'll get started again. We have the wonderful Eleonora here today to talk to us about all things music and your amazing piece that you're going to be doing. What dates is it again? The 21st
21st,
and
21st
and
and
yeah,
22nd.
of June, right at the end of our programme, up on the balcony, which we're really excited for because it's a new space that we've got for WAF with Car Crash Productions. So yeah, I'm Poppy, by the way. Bit of a different face than Tom, but I'm here representing the Car Crash Productions team. So I'm going to pass over to Eleonora. If you could tell everyone about the amazing person that is you.
Love it. Thank you very much, Poppy. That's
No.
an amazing introduction. So my name is Eleonora. Um, I am originally Italian, but I have been living in London for like almost 14 years. So I always say I don't know how to function as an adult in Italy. I know how to function in this society. Um, which, which I think I learned a lot. I'm
Yeah.
a musician. I am a singer-songwriter. I perform.
Hmm.
When I perform live, I always perform me, myself, and I, and my guitar.
Hmm.
And I have a very raw approach to emotions when I write. So
Hmm.
it all started for me as a kind of like an outlet to understand what was happening
Hmm.
inside of me, especially when I
Hmm.
um, like when I started right. I had a long break of from songwriting, but then when I started
Hmm.
again, maybe because I was more mature, I started using it very much as a tool to better understand myself. Um, in a
Hmm.
very, I mean, it might sound very selfish or maybe selfless, but I just thought I need to understand without um
Hmm.
yeah, just feeling it and put it into words. I'm very much into
Yes.
using words. I always say it. I love
Hmm.
talking to people. I love I
Hmm.
mean I speak 4 languages. So for me
Oh my God.
is
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
it's all about words
Yeah.
and
I
expressing
mean that
ourselves.
makes a lot. Yeah. Do you find that words or the melody come first? So are you somebody who writes the lyrics first? Is that your inspiration, and then you put it to music? Kind of what is your process when it comes to that?
It's there's no rule to that. So I have songs that just came out at the same time, the melody and the lyrics. Maybe
Hmm.
I was humming a melody and I thought, okay, no, I
Yeah.
need to put words in this. And
Hmm.
usually it's the emotion that those type of that the
Hmm.
actual melody I'm playing is actually giving me.
Hmm.
I do have songs I wrote that I didn't even know there were going to be songs
Oh,
because because I thought, oh, this is I'm gonna write a poem again
yeah.
because
Hmm.
I like
Yes.
writing. Right? I'm just gonna write a poem, and then I
Hmm.
remember um, I had a little afternoon with my friends, and
Hmm.
I read that poem to them. We were all bringing different pieces of art that day, so
Oh,
it was a
oh,
very
I love
nice
that. Oh, I love
special
that.
afternoon.
Yes, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, and I remember that. So there was someone who had painted something, there was somebody else who
Hmm.
had made something, and I had my poem. And
Hmm.
I read the poem to my friends, and
Mhm.
they said, "Oh, we really like it." And then on my way back home, I thought, "Hold on a second, I can put music on this." So it became a song, and
Yeah.
now it's one of those songs that I tend to play most of the time when I'm playing live because I encourage a little bit
Wow.
of audience participation.
Oh, I
So
love that.
I'm very much um,
Mhm.
for the interaction with the audience
Mhm.
because it's not only me with on a stage and be like, yes,
Mhm.
I'm gonna play songs for you.
Yeah.
It's more of a, hey, let's create something together. Let's make
Mhm.
something together. Um,
That just sounds
so
so
yeah,
exciting and kind of unusual for music performances, which are really like that sounds really exciting and kind of, I mean, maybe not necessarily experimental, but just different and
yeah,
fun. Yeah.
yeah,
Also, you play with a guitar. Do you compose the music on a guitar? Is that kind of your main?
yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
always.
when did you start learning the guitar?
This is a fun story. So I
Oh,
started.
I'm so excited. I'm so
I've
ready.
I've lived in a household with instruments. Okay, so my brother plays the piano. He's my producer, actually. So
Oh my gosh. I
yeah,
mean, it's
so
Billie Eilish and Phineas.
that's what we always say. So he
Yes.
lives, and he lives in Italy, so we shorten the distance with that. So
Yes. Yeah.
he played the piano. My dad was into
Mhm.
music. My mom was into music. My grandmother used to play the piano. My great grandfather on my dad's side, so
Yeah.
the same the same
Mhm.
journey that side, played the piano. So music was there.
Yeah. So it's been in
Uh,
your family. It's part of
exactly.
like,
And
yeah.
and there's always been a guitar in my house, and I remember my dad was strum here and there. And at one point, I started taking guitar lessons, and
Hmm.
maybe I was very young at that time, so it wasn't like, oh, not good. And I kind of
Yeah.
quit for, I think, a year, because I remember having this feeling of, oh, I can make music, I can touch things, and they make nice
Yes.
sounds. And so I started again with the same teacher, with the same
Mhm.
tutor after a year. And I remember that once we started, bear in mind that I started singing first, and then guitar came after.
Okay. Okay.
So for me, singing, because singing was my brother playing the piano, and I was singing next to him.
Yes.
We were
Yes.
doing
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
duo.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
then I went to these guitar lessons with this teacher, and I remember we
Hmm.
reached the point of strumming and play and singing together. And I thought, oh, this is fun.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And I did it, and I remember that he let me play the whole song I had
Hmm.
prepared, and I remember he looked at me and said, "Oh, in the final recital for the end of the year of the guitar lessons, you're
Hmm.
going to sing, and I'm going to accompany you with the guitar." So I got back home to my parents saying, "You know those guitar lessons that you have been paying for? I'm singing at the end of it." And we were all like, "Okay."
Hilarious.
But it was fun.
Yeah.
Um, because I didn't even, I mean, it was unexpected.
Hmm.
So guitar has always been the type of instrument supporting what I'm doing with my
Yes.
voice. I always say I don't do solos or other things. For me, is literally that yeah, it's like the foundation of what I'm doing. It's giving that
Hmm.
sense of, we've got a music, we've got the song.
Amazing, fantastic. So I'm going to go on to the next question, which is about the
Mhm.
show that you're going to perform. So, what made you want to perform as part of the Wandsworth Arts Fringe? And also, what are you doing on the 21st and 22nd of June?
So what made me participate in that is I saw an ad on Instagram,
Ooh,
and
ooh.
I have always wanted to play at a festival, and I thought
Mhm,
I didn't even know where to start. I mean, I do
mhm,
my usual applications for all of the festivals that are around there. But also, I'm a small musician,
Mhm.
so I'm still trying every
Yeah.
year. And then
Mhm.
I saw this opportunity, and I thought, oh, this is cool. This is in London. I mean,
Mhm.
I have been playing around London
Mhm.
for a while now.
Yeah.
And then when I looked into it, I thought, wow, this is like days and days of that. It's not like
Yeah.
only one
Mhm.
weekend. This is like
Mhm.
proper, proper
Yes.
long um,
Mhm.
festival. I mean, I thought of the Edinburgh Fringe. Um,
Yes, yeah, 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 yeah. I think a lot of people think of Fringe and they just think of Edinburgh because yeah, I've had a lot of the same conversations with people and they're like, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize that there were fringes all over like the country and in
yeah,
London and stuff like that. But yes, yeah.
and I think it's great because it
Hmm.
is. I mean, once I started understanding more with the different type of communication I was receiving, I realized, wow,
Hmm.
this is perfect because there's
Hmm.
no limitation in
Yeah.
what I can do, and
Hmm.
there's no limitation for the type of art. It's not
Hmm.
just like dance or theater,
Yeah.
or it's
Hmm.
everything,
Hmm.
which got me really excited, and then got me into the okay, I want to do something special for this.
Hmm. Yeah. Hmm.
um, so when I play live, I always have this journey through my songs, which is um, as I said, it's not only me going on stage and be like, oh, this next song is called this and that. I
Yeah.
mean, sometimes it depends on the settings as well,
Hmm.
but usually it's I give a bit of story, especially in terms of the emotion
Hmm.
behind the song.
Yeah.
Um, the reason being, I think that we're I'm going to digress a bit before getting to the actual.
All good. I mean, you can take us in whatever direction you want. I'm
So
not going to stop you, don't worry.
thank you. So I believe that in this society we're living, despite all of the horrible things that are happening out there,
Hmm.
somehow we are living in an era where we have a lot of tools to understand our emotions. Um,
Hmm. Yeah. Hmm.
and my generation and previous generations, we all grew with little tools about emotions. So
Hmm.
most of the time we would suppress them or put them on the side, or
Hmm.
oh, not
Yeah.
now, or oh,
Hmm.
this is too much. You're too sensitive.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hmm.
just don't think about it. All
Yeah.
of these things.
Hmm.
And we all heard this in our lives at
Hmm.
least once. When
Yeah.
you're feeling down for something, when you're feeling too excited for something,
Hmm.
so it's there's no actual limit to that.
Yes.
So
Yes.
when I saw that, and I saw that there was no actual limitation to
Hmm.
the type of art that could have been presented, I
Yeah.
thought, well, I tend to have very theatrical performances because
Hmm.
there's that interaction, because it's all about getting into the emotion, going into this journey.
Hmm.
And so I thought, well, too much. Let's recreate. Let's reclaim this old
Yes.
life. So let's own the fact that we have these emotions, and it's not a
Hmm.
problem. Let's
Hmm.
normalize the emotion.
Yeah.
Let's say it's not too much.
Hmm.
It's actually how you feel. It's how you
Hmm.
are um, devised or
Yes.
designed.
Yes.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and there are people who feel too much or feel a
Hmm.
lot, and there are
Yeah.
people that have difficulties feeling because maybe they don't know where to start from, maybe
Hmm.
they don't they don't have the vocabulary. So
Hmm.
it's very much the show is going to be about this, around this journey through the emotions. um,
Hmm.
i I always say that I tend to write very melancholic songs, um,
Hmm.
which I do sometimes, I admit. But then I was um, I was talking a few weeks ago with my best friend who has been listening to all of my songs even before
Hmm.
releasing them, and she said, "Well, actually, there's a lot of hope in your songs." And I thought, This is so good. I never, I mean, I know that I always sprinkle a little light in that,
Mm. Yeah.
but to hear it from the outside
Yes.
is
Yes.
different.
I
So
mean, it's nice for that to be confirmed by somebody else.
exactly. So I'm not
Yeah.
delusional. That's how I see it.
Yes.
I'm not, I mean, I know that I'm in my own world at times, but I'm not that much to be completely lose it and be like, yeah, my songs are, they're melancholic, but there's always
Yes.
um
It's peaks and troughs, so
exactly. Yeah,
different spectrum of emotions. But I think that theme of talking about too much is so incredibly relatable to a lot of people. And it's just really interesting hearing you talk about that, because that's definitely something that I know that I've been told within my life. So I guess, is it your way of kind of, I guess through music and writing, it's about kind of processing what you're feeling and kind of grounding yourself and kind of reorganize what your brain is telling you?
yeah, 100%. And the thing is, because art, any type of art, is self-expression,
Hmm.
I don't put any censorship. I
Hmm.
mean, I mean, I already mentioned that I don't use swear words because I
Hmm.
think that we have such a, like, there's such a richness of words that we can use
Hmm.
to say something without using that word.
Hmm.
I mean, it makes it such much more poetic. Um,
Hmm. Yeah.
so it is a way to process that, and also it is a way to say, well, I didn't want
Hmm.
to feel, or I didn't feel like I had the right to feel or the tools to feel something. Now with
Hmm.
my music, I am just going to do
Yeah.
that. And yeah, and it's just that.
Mhm. You talked to me a lot about the fact that you're going to be using props, and I heard some things about some mirrors. So, is there anything, without spoiling too much, anything
Yeah,
else that you can reveal at this point about
yeah.
your performance? Yeah.
So everything is a work in progress, and I have
Hmm.
to work it out in terms
Hmm.
of how we can create that emotion from the outside. So that's the idea of using the props. So
Hmm.
um, create the vibe, so to speak.
Yeah, so
So
it's almost like visual storytelling as well as
exactly.
auditory.
So
Yeah.
having elements and mirrors, for me, I love mirrors in a very,
Yes.
maybe as a woman in a very
Hmm.
feminine way.
Hmm.
I love mirrors.
Yeah. Hmm.
Um
And also
and
in performances and as props. That's really
yeah,
cool.
and I think that in general, when, again, talking about emotions, when we are talking about, oh, I feel too much, or someone says that I'm too much, we also
Hmm.
have the difficulties in seeing ourselves. So that the
Hmm.
mirror is a tool through which we can look at ourselves. And
Hmm.
sometimes we cannot look at ourselves. And sometimes we look at
Yeah.
ourselves and we don't recognize that person that we're actually seeing.
Hmm.
So, and sometimes I think it all goes up and down in life.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
then there's that moment where we look at ourselves in the mirror and we're like, yes, I love myself.
Hmm.
I own everything about myself.
Yeah.
I'm very happy with who I am. Um,
Hmm.
so the mirrors, it's ideally, it's all about making it too much. And because there are
Hmm.
going to be daytime
Yes. Yes.
performances,
Hmm.
my idea, because initially I'm gonna spoil it because I don't think it's going to happen because it's daytime.
Yes.
I'm not gonna use fairy lights because they're not gonna make much in the daylight. But
I'm not going to reveal anything too much, but
what?
there perhaps might be some form of fairy lights in the space already for you.
Oh
But if you
wow.
wanted to bring extra ones, that is
We
completely
can
up
make it
to
even
you.
more bright.
Yes.
Love it. Yeah, definitely. The
Hmm.
the reason why I'm saying, oh, fairy lights, because I thought, well, if it's daytime, maybe you cannot appreciate the vibe. So I started thinking about um, very visual things. So I'm not gonna say other than mirrors, and I'm not gonna go into the actual
Okay.
things, but
Ooh,
I think
I'm really excited.
col- I'm thinking of colors. I'm thinking of
Mhm.
things where you can reflect the light,
Yeah.
such as a mirror, and
Mhm.
also because it's a journey and it's going to be an intimate performance. Because
Mhm.
intimate, not in the sense of, I mean, not in the sense of the amount of people that are going to be there, but it's intimate because we're gonna go into an intimate conversation
Yes.
with
Yes.
ourselves. So I I have been thinking about different tools that I can use and that the audience can be given in terms of, this is your moment, this is your journey, this is your understanding of who you are, and this is enjoying the music, and
Mhm.
also know that whatever you're feeling is totally fine.
Ooh, I am so excited.
Same.
I mean, I think, well, no, I definitely will be there on one of the performances, but I am so excited. It's also really interesting hearing you talking about kind of the more visual elements and how you're kind of conceptualizing the visual as well as kind of the music and the words, which I think is quite, don't get me wrong, I think it's quite unusual for somebody who plays. I don't really, I mean, you know, if an artist went on tour, that of course they have the visual storytelling in terms of their set and stuff, but you're also thinking about how you want your audience to interact with your performance. Has that always kind of been how you conceptualize, sorry, and come up with pieces? Are you also thinking about kind of audience interaction and having kind of more visual elements? Yeah.
So the audience interaction came out almost naturally. So I
Mhm.
have been before playing my own music. Um, I've always been playing with bands and
Mhm.
with functions. So I've always
Yeah.
been very much in connection with the audience. When
Mhm.
I started playing my own music, I thought, hey, this is even better. I can do it with my own songs.
Yeah.
Um, and that came like became very natural and very um,
Mhm.
a recurrent thing in my performances. The visual
Mhm.
elements, it is because the theme is too much. But who
Mhm.
said that I'm too much? And this is what, hold on, this is something that I really appreciate by living in London. So who said that I'm too much for wearing feathers on a Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m.? Or who said that I'm too much because I want to wear a blue lipstick at 4 p.m.
Mhm.
on a Thursday? And this is the power of London. You
Mhm.
can
Yes.
be
Yes.
whoever you want to be. Um,
Mhm.
and so I thought, well, I want to make this show even more special, and
Mhm.
having visual um, elements
Yes. Yeah.
to anchor the audience into what
Mhm.
we're doing, because it's going to be a whole participation, like everybody are going to do it. um
Mhm.
Everybody's going to do it. um it's Yeah, the visual thing was something that I thought, well, this is different. And because I tend to perform in London in like private events or public
Mhm.
events, or
Yeah.
um
Mhm.
I I know that, well, my intention is to make every time something a little different and something special, especially
Mhm. Yes.
in the case of the Wandsworth Arts Fringe. It is such a special occasion, and it's such
Mhm.
an honor to be part of it, that I thought, well, I'm going to make it even more. Um,
Mhm.
I mean, maybe it's more in my head, and maybe when you see it, you'll be like, yeah, okay.
No, definitely not on your head.
But yeah.
That just sounds really, really absolutely fascinating. I think especially for me because I kind of when it comes to performance and stuff like that, I kind of lean more dance side.
Hmm.
So I don't really have much of a connection with words, and
Mhm.
I am definitely not much of a writer, and it's not something that comes naturally. But creating movement and things like that, I think of a lot of things quite visually. So it's really interesting talking to somebody who kind of automatically thinks of the words. But then you also have those visual elements in as well. So I can kind of like see those two worlds kind of
Mhm.
melding together. Is there anything else that you really want to talk about?
Well, I'm just very excited to be performing. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
no, I think we touched on everything.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, no, it was really lovely chatting to you.
Likewise.
I will be stopping the live stream.
All right.
But
Thank
no,
you.
thank you everyone for watching, and I'll wave goodbye very cheesily. But no, thank you. I will also have more information about how to book tickets for Eleanor's show, so that you can watch this incredible performance in person on the 21st and 22nd